Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. I hope everybody had a great day. It is Wednesday, July 30th. I know today it's Dougie's birthday. He's 5 today, and kind of an exhausting day in New Jersey. I'm not going to lie, the heat index and the humidity is absolutely astronomical. I just went outside. I swear, I'm like sweating from going outside, and it's insane. You walk out there, and it's 9 o'clock at night, and you're still sweating. So it's ridiculously hot out there and kind of exhausting. This market's been exhausting, to be completely honest with you. That's exhausting. Look at it. I mean, and these don't reflect what happened in the after hours because, I mean, Microsoft went ape shit and went crazy there. Microsoft went up $42. Meta went a little nutty right there, up almost $100 at one point. So we'll take a look at them over here. As a matter of fact, let's just go through the SPY and big caps right off the bat here. And I think we're going to cruise right through the show tonight because, again, I am kind of exhausted. And we'll get ready for tomorrow because it could be a wild day tomorrow after these earnings. The Fed obviously didn't cut the rates, didn't mention anything in September as well. And we did look at the poly market charts, and by about 10 o'clock, you could definitely tell they weren't doing anything with the rates. They had curled up to 100% there. They were sitting there at 7 a.m. They could have went, but I think it was just that look that it was early in the morning, and they were just teetering. So they did curl up, and you could tell that was a wrap. But let's go through real quick. We'll look at our SPY, our big caps. The SPY was up. And then it ripped down like $3. And then in the after hours, ripped back up. So that's what that looks like right there. 636 to 639. Down to 631, and then boom, and closed at 638, guys. So SPY QQQ dipped and ripped. You're not kidding, Mr. Drawdown. How are you? And Game Rocket, will check them out. Luis Rodriguez, Laptop Travel, Doge Mama 9, everybody else hanging out. How are we today? What a wild market, guys. I mean, holy cow. And again, we'll do it a little backwards today because this market's so insane. I'm going to look at the SPY. Big caps first. Let's look at them. I don't know what I'm typing in there. Hold on. It's AAPL. I keep doing that. AAPL right there. Apple pulling back as it hit that resistance. What's their earnings tomorrow, right? Yep. Their earnings are tomorrow. So look where that bad boy is sitting, guys, and what's happening. Zach, how are you this evening? And yeah, look where Apple's sitting right on that support line right there. Pretty interesting for sure. And hold on, I'm putting too many letters in now. I can't seem to type Apple in anymore. But anyway, look at that pullback right there. It's at 208. It opened at 211 today, and we will see what their earnings coming up tomorrow. They've been popping. It's sitting right there, kind of pulling back underneath that trend line. But I could see it being up there. And how are you, Doge Mama 9 and Cadence? And yeah, what a market indeed, guys. I'm telling you, it is wild. I did not see Microsoft and Meta flying like that today. I was wondering, obviously, we were looking at them. We do every day. And that was just not something I saw happening. But you're going to see this market getting ripping in all kinds of ways now. If they're going to do that right there, this is going to get real interesting now. So, yeah, strap on your seatbelts because I thought we were about to see that pullback after the Fed obviously wasn't going to cut the rates. And the next thing you know, these things came out. I didn't even know what the earnings even said, but let's go through and see what's going on here. Here's Amazon real quick. Oh, let me type it in. And we can look at it right there. Amazon, it was down, then started ripping up there. And what are their earnings are tomorrow as well, right? Yep, they have earnings tomorrow. So, they could be really good and get the market ripping. And look at it, guys. So, I'm telling you, this thing's crazy, guys. I mean, as much as you want to see a little bit of pullback, not that we want to see it, we thought we were going to see it. It almost looked like it was about to happen today. And the next thing you know, these things went nutty. So, I mean, it definitely wasn't what I was looking at, to be honest with you. You know that. And when they start doing that, you're like, holy cow, this is a crazy market, but we love it. So we'll take advantage because they look like they're going to be ripping up here a little bit higher into the top right now. Google had looked good. It's running back up right now and not looking bad right there. So, yeah, these things have a totally different look than they had earlier, I must say. As soon as Meta and Microsoft went crazy in the after hours, that'll make the market shift real quick. That's for sure. And let's look at that was Google. and we want to do Meta, we were looking at it already. And like I said, it got ripping in the after hours right there. You can't really tell on that chart, but on this one, you can definitely see it. Look at that thing. So you're going to assume that's keeping that momentum in the morning. That's for sure. And Microsoft is another one. It just ripped right through that resistance there, like it wasn't even there, guys. I mean, this thing is at 555. It's literally off this chart right now. Like FinViz in the morning has to reset up the chart because it just ran up so high that it busted right through the entire thing there. So that's what you're looking at with Microsoft. And apparently their AI is really good. And Zuckerberg, remember we were saying he was up to something. Apparently he was dumping a ton of money in the AI, and it looks like it's paying off for him. So yeah, these candles are like a cobra. They are wild. I'm telling you, crazy market, guys. And like I tell you, I did not see these coming. Not like that. I mean, maybe a little bounce up to end like that run up, but this is a whole different world right here. And now you got NVIDIA trying to run up as well. So look at that. Boom. And what are their earnings or what? They don't have their earnings. Never mind. They're not coming right up. So there you go. That's NVIDIA right there. And that looks really good. So I'm telling you guys, this market looks pretty damn wild. And of course, we'll look at Tesla right here, and then we'll just go right through the big caps and everybody else. And you see Tesla's pulling back, but it's getting set up, guys. And this thing's about to start taking off. So here you go, about to get that roll off right there. And you can see Tesla setting up. They recently had their earnings, and you can see it about to roll off. So there you go. And that is your Mag 7 and SPY. And it was a wild one at the end of the day. And like I keep telling you, I didn't see them flying like that. So let's go right through the rest of the big caps, and we'll rock and roll right through and see what's happening here and what we're getting into tomorrow, because this market just changed right around real fast. It's so yeah, AMC down at the bottom. I'd almost expect a bounce off of there as it's setting up. Their earnings are on August 11th, so we have time. But look at this thing. I would expect to see it trying to stay in this channel. And if it does right here, and it's a short channel to 301 and gets set back up, if that starts curling up like it wants to, this thing's going to get set up and start running. So what a wild market, getting turned around all the time here. GameStop was pulling back. You have that great support line right there, 22. And I think we had mentioned it before. And watch this thing start getting rolled off, guys. So these things had run up there, they're pulling back perfectly, and now you're seeing that run-ups. You're about to see that run-ups, especially with these earnings going crazy like this. I mean, it's absolutely bizarre. Not bizarre, it's just wild, because we're all the way at the top. And here we go with this kind of bubble that we've been talking about on that small cap show. And the markets, when they get into these in these situations right here and with these numbers, it can really go explosive. So as much as you have to be a little cautious up there, especially with your SPY and big caps, well, when they look like this right now you can start doing it. So you saw why I was cautious, and now they're going to start ripping again. So you take advantage of it and see how long that plays out for these earnings. So it is absolutely insane right now, guys. I mean, just crazy stuff going on. And here's Chewy. It's going to get set up. You can see it. It's doesn't have too much time left. And Unity's flattening out and wants to start moving again. So again, if all these things start posting some earnings like we saw today, it's going to get real crazy real quick. And Netflix looks like it's going to be curling up. That looks like it could be the bottom down here. Remember, it was in the 1300s, and now you're in that 1170s area right there. And so, yeah, that looks a lot better today. So we might have just saw that little bit of pullback. And remember, we were talking about, we didn't know how much it was going to be. The market kind of pulled back. Well, they did kind of make a little bit of space. Some of them are still on the top. But, hey, you could see Microsoft. Look how long it's run up here. I mean, this thing's been a monster. Look at that bad boy. And even when it's pulled out, it's gone right back up, and it's flown over today. We know that. So we could be seeing some crazy action right here. I'm not going to lie. And AVGO right here was up big today, and these things are getting into the top. So, yeah, AMD and all these guys are looking crazy. MU. So These are looking much better too, and that's all off that off the AI stuff because these are involved, and that is what's really fueling this thing right now. And Trump kind of has it made, not made, but it just happens to be that perfect recipe right now that we have talked about on the Small Cap Show. And this AI is absolutely insane, and it's making these companies have numbers that they've just never seen before because they have orders bigger than they've ever had, and they're already filled up for like the next 2 or 3 years. They just like can't even meet demand at this point with AI. It's so crazy. So yeah, Microsoft is the rocket, man. Before it was the chandelier, and I don't know what I'm telling you guys. I'm so glad I didn't play them because I thought that thing was topping out there at the resistance, and it would have just crushed me. That's for sure. So that's why you see I stayed out of it during earnings and when I couldn't tell what the hell it wanted to do. So now it's a better idea to just play it that way. If you can't really tell, there was other ones running and we were catching them. And now it looks like a whole nother market's about to start up again. So we will be taking a look at everything now with a fine comb in the morning, especially to see what's going to be popping. But TSM, another one that looks really good up here and running back up. So look at it. It looks like it might want to try to curl up, and we'll be looking at tomorrow. SMCI curled right back up, started running back up again. That's looking good as well. So again, these semiconductors looking really good after today, and it is getting fueled by, let me be able to see what I'm typing here because I can't see, SMCI, and it's being fueled by all this AI, and you can see this thing's running up there, and they have that August 5th, and August 5th is going to be a fun day as well next week, because we have about 1,015 companies that have earnings on that day. It's absolutely insanity. So this is crazy right here, this earnings quarter. And just when you think you see it all in the market, that's why the market's interesting every single day. And it's always a different day and a new day in the market, and why you don't get yourself down or beat up and you really try to play it one trade at a time, because you see things like this happen and you go, holy cow, this is wild. And now here comes all kinds of opportunities. So I'm kind of glad I sat on the sidelines, and now you can pick up where you need to. So we'll be going through and seeing what we need to get into. And that's SMCI right there. And here is AMD up a little bit, and it is looking good up there. I mean, look at it up at the top up there and cruising up in the after hours. Look, it just keeps going. So I don't see it looking bad at the moment. So there you go with your AMD. And QCOM right here, we've been liking it, and it pulled back big today. And I would absolutely watch for this thing tomorrow. Whoa, I took a huge, what did they have, earnings? They did have earnings today. I don't know what happened. It looks like it might have been way bad, but it was green. Look at that dip. Oh, we're definitely looking at QCOM right there on that dip. That could be a great one. So we'll be keeping an eye on QCOM. We like that pullback, and we'll see when that's ready to get set up. And good old Snow right here was up a little and looks like it wants to go up. Look at it crossing through this MACD, coming up on it hard and wants to cruise. So Snow had been coming down, and now Snow's going right back up. So this is the wildest market. You had never seen anything like this in the last administration. I promise you that. And because no one was even in the administration working, you got a guy that's working like 14 hours a day, and you just never know when you're going to get some tweets or anything. Look at this market, and still the rates aren't coming down. So unbelievable, isn't it? You just, and he just keeps ripping the market higher. I think just to have the American people and everybody realize that this is a complete political game, as I've been telling you guys for a while. And Powell's out of his goddamn mind, because again, if you look back, he was cutting rates right before the election. Remember inflation back then? Whoa, it was smoking hot back then. Inflation it was killing you. Now it's just getting absorbed. And yeah, prices keep going up, but at least it's getting absorbed right now. You don't see your eggs going like $20 a dozen, and your milk like $50 a gallon, and crazy things like that. Gas has actually come down in my area. I don't know about everybody, but I'm just telling you what I'm experiencing. So yeah, you do see prices a little lower. I mean, don't get me wrong. You go out somewheres or you go away, like just for example, going down the shore. I mean, the price, everything's doubled down there. It's like things that used to be $10 or 20, things that were 20 are now 40. It's crazy. So that is still happening, but that's not exactly, I don't think, inflation. That's just these companies, um, just each person that touches it, they're just marking things up astronomically because they were getting away with it for 4 years. And now finally there's somebody in there. So it's getting cut back, but they're still trying to make as much money as they can. And they say they got to pass it on to the consumer and this and that, and they blame it on, remember, they were blaming it on tariffs. Well, does anybody seen anything bad from tariff? I mean, the country is bringing in all kinds of money and all these countries are doing deals. As a matter of fact, let's hop off of snow. We'll come back to our list. But we just reached a deal with South Korea today, was it not? I forget. Yeah, South Korea featuring a 15% tariff rate. So there you go. It seems like everybody's coming to the table and having these discussions, and I don't see the tariffs really hurting us. It looks like they're making us more money. Look at the economy right now. Have we ever seen the SPY look like this? I mean, come on, guys. It was topped out here, and that was for the last administration, and he just ripped it right through like it wasn't even like he wasn't even trying. And to be honest with you, a lot of these were manipulated numbers, and I'd called that out back when it was happening as well. So there was a lot of fudged numbers. He ain't fudging nothing right now, guys. He's snapping his fingers and just making it go flying. So it's unbelievable right there. But anyway, let's get back to our list and see what's happening here. And that was snow, and PayPal right here was down, and it dipped down a little bit, but that was one that had been running up. It was still up in the morning there, and then it did pull back. It was running around yesterday, as a matter of fact, but it was up a little bit this morning. I remember seeing it, and then you got some big pullback there, but that had run up pretty nicely, and I bet that's going to get set back up. So we'll be keeping an eye on that one. And here was Intel, and that one's just pulling back a little more. So the ones that were pulling back, you still see a slight pullback here. Nothing crazy. Dell was looking pretty good. It ran up in the after hours, and I think Dell may continue to run into the top right there. So that's a good one. This ASTS Space Mobile right here, this is looking really good again. And I know they have some contracts with Dell and stuff like that. At least I'm pretty sure that's what they said. Ben and them like this one, and they've talked about it a lot. And August 11th, they have earnings, but this is looking pretty good right there to continue up. I just thought of it as we went through Dell. And IBM right here is hitting that support line, and that one had been that big dipper, so we'll watch that one get set up, and that'll be a great opportunity. So we'll catch some of these at the bottom as they want to run up, and there'll be great opportunities, and we'll also hit some momentum plays like Palantir and PLTR is looking pretty good still and looks like it wants to continue up. So keep an eye on that for some momentum tomorrow as well. And I think you're going to see a lot of momentum plays tomorrow after what we just saw in the after hours. Sophie, it was dipping down. And it looks like it bounced right back up in them after hours. So that's interesting. Didn't they just have their earnings too right here yesterday, I believe? Yep, yesterday they were. And then it ran up, and then today it kind of pulled back, and then it looks like it wants to go right back up. So, I mean, that pullback was pretty quick there. We did see a pullback, but it didn't last very long. And holy cow, that was pretty wild, bouncing and stuff. So you don't see markets like this every day. It's pretty wild, and it's exciting, to be honest with you. But you got to be quick on it, or you just kind of watch it happen and pick your best opportunities, which we've been doing really well doing that. So that's what I've been trying to do. Just scope out the best opportunities after they pull back, get set up, and have them run back up. Mara right here, still trying to get set up, and Riot right here. But these do have earnings, won't they? Tomorrow, the 31st. Yeah, so they're tomorrow too for Riot. Didn't Matter already have theirs yesterday or something? Yeah, they had them like yesterday, I believe. So there you go with them, and we'll be keeping an eye on that. But Riot's tomorrow right here, hitting that 20, and that could curl back up with that trend line there, support underneath of it. So we can keep an eye on that tomorrow with its earnings, if anyone likes earnings plays. And Clean Spark is pulling back. Looks like it has a little more pullback in it. And MicroStrategy is looking a little better. This is getting set up, and his earnings are coming up. Good old Sayers coming up tomorrow. I forgot that is tomorrow right there. And we'll have to see. That's interesting. At the moment, it looks like it could pull back a little bit more. It did run up some in the after hours right there. As you can see, it's on the 50 holding itself. So we'll definitely be looking at MicroStrategy tomorrow to see what it wants to do, because that has that interesting look right there. That's for sure. And let's go through a couple more right here. Robinhood, this is sitting on that trend line. Could get a little bit of pullback. Not much, probably healthy as it's setting up, especially the way things are looking right now. And that is Hood. And Coinbase right here is up today. And I did see this one. It was going all over. Let's see. Didn't they have earnings? They have earnings tomorrow. So let's see what that Coinbase is doing. And there you are, 373. It did run up to 386. And it's at 382 right now. So it doesn't look bad as well. And let's look at Bull. It was pulling back there. It had looked bullish for a while and a little bit of pullback. And you might see this one actually pull itself right up and try to roll off tomorrow. It's in that spot where they love to do that. And we actually love when they do that. It pulls it has that little dip look, and then it pulls itself up and runs right up over to 20. And you're probably going to see that tomorrow, the way these things are looking right here. So it is crazy. Yeah, Powell explicitly stated that the Fed has not made any decisions regarding interest rate cuts in September. And remember, there's nothing going on in August, so they have September's going. Then they have August too. No, nothing in August, September, and October. That's what it was, or something like that. But yeah, they do skip a month. And so yeah, it is kind of crazy, guys. I mean, I just don't get it. But again, you're seeing political games, so nobody will ever understand that. That's for sure. And this is bull. So again, watch for that to try to pull up right there and possibly get cruising back up tomorrow. Obviously, market conditions, but this market just switched around and looks a little wild, I'll tell you that. And Space has been pulling back after the run up, and they have their earnings on August 6th right there. Maybe see a little more pullback right down to that 20. And Boeing was pulling back as well. And didn't they have their earnings? What were they, yesterday? And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they were good or bad. Again, I don't look at earnings, but they appeared that it wants to pull back, and it looks like it's going to get pushed down off of that 20 right there. So maybe Boeing's going to see a little bit of pullback for whatever reason. And DJT is kind of just pulling back there. It says it went up in the after hours. I have to see this because I didn't look at it, and it doesn't look that great. 18 to 1806. It's at 1789. So yeah, it's not looking too crazy right there. And Fun had that nice pullback going. And let's look at it and see if this wants to get reversed around. PHUN, good old Funware, and that was that dip yesterday. And yeah, let's just keep an eye on that, because that'll be one of them good opportunities. We love when they dip down like that. We get them at that low price. Remember, McDonald's was trying to set up. Looks like it went down in the after hours. So let's see. It's just kind of pulled back to that 50 right there. It was up at 305 and pulled back a little. Still doesn't look bad, though. So we can keep an eye on McDonald's as we look at it each day. And here's your Disney, Luis Rodriguez, and you are pulling back. I expect you to see that 50 right there, right around, I would say, like that 118, and possibly get to that 117 and a half, but 117.50 area. But there you go. Laptop travel, he may be traveling. You might be absolutely right. And he probably did send me a message. I was running around. It was Dougie's birthday, so we were having cake. We went out to dinner and ran back, had cake, and it takes us forever to do everything. So yeah, we were running a little late. And but anyway, he might have hit me up and said that, and I didn't even notice. But he is usually on, you're right. So I would expect that he could be traveling right now. We do know laptop travel probably has more mileage than people that have like the Mark Cuban when he bought like the all you can fly deal back in the day. There's one guy that's like he's flown the most amount of miles like anybody in the world. He got that thing. They had offered it. I think it was like $100,000, and it was like a lifetime first class. They have to like kick somebody off the airplane for you. It's crazy. and Mark Cuban had bought it, I remember, and he transferred it to his dad when he got a private plane. You could transfer it one time as well, and there is one guy, and they done a special about this guy, and just off like the airplane mileage that he gets, I mean, it's like crazy. He like gets paid to fly just because, again, he goes all over the place for free, but he'll fly like certain places to get certain amount of mileage because why not? And then he'll just go and have lunch there and fly back home. And yeah, this guy's like literally made a whole life and a career out of just flying first class to every place. He's like the most traveled person in the world or something. You can look him up. But yeah, he bought that thing. It was an unlimited pass. I think it was an American Airlines that was doing it. I forget. It was back, I think, in the 90s or something, maybe the early 2000s. It was a long time ago. I kind of remember it, so I don't remember exactly when it was, but they did it for a few months. Couple people bought it, and then they stopped doing that bad boy real quick. And but yeah, I remember Mark Cuban. He had said that he had it and transferred it over to his dad. I think his dad had since passed away, but his dad, he said, I remember him saying a story about like his dad getting to just hop on any flight he wanted to at any time and just go travel wherever he wanted to. So it was like one of the coolest gifts he ever got to give him. That's pretty cool. And not that he couldn't just let him fly on a private plane, but people like that thing. You go first class, just walk up in line, they kick somebody off the airplane for you, and you hop in a seat and go fly like 13 hours across the world and go to France and then go eat like dinner and then hop on another, go to the airport and hop on the next flight coming back home. So can you imagine? That would be crazy. But anyway, that happened. And I'm not even sure how we started talking. Oh, we are talking about laptop travel. But yeah, other than that guy, I don't know who travels more than laptop travel. Dude flies so much. It's crazy. I don't like airplanes that much, but it clearly doesn't bother him. But yeah, he might be flying around right now. That's for sure. And here we go. We'll fly around and see what's going on over here. OXY. Oxy right here. I'm telling you, this oil and gas is setting up. You're going to see these pullbacks. So always watch for these little dip opportunities as they run up, hit the resistance, and come back down to your support. And this one's getting pretty close right there. And ExxonMobil had a little pullback after the run up. Is that tomorrow too? Nope. That's what, Thursday is that? I'm looking at the wrong spot. Yeah, it's Friday actually. Oh yeah, Friday's August 1st. Tomorrow's Thursday. That would make sense. So tomorrow's the 31st. Anyway, so I'm a little tired, but yeah, Friday's the 1st. Can you believe Friday's August 1st, guys? Holy cow. That's how fast these months go by. And actually next week I will be I told you the whole month of August, I'm telling you, I'll be traveling. So I got to get like all my stuff together. And I didn't even realize that it was like, I did know it was the end of the month, but didn't even realize we're going away like Sunday. My wife said it to me, and I was like, it's like Wednesday. We better start getting ready for this, huh? So we are heading out for our first vacation of the month. I'm telling you, I'm going to be traveling, doing a bunch of vacations this month, but it's all good. And so I got to get the laptop set up and all that good. So I'll be like laptop travel, except I'm not flying anywhere. So I'm just driving everywhere. And yeah, it'll be all good. So I will be on some vacations, but I'll tell you what, this month is going to be crazy because it looked like there was going to be some pullback happening. We might have seen that pullback for about 20 minutes today, guys. I'm not even kidding. It was absolutely insane what I watched that market just do. And so we will be keeping an eye on it. And maybe we won't see a bunch of pullback in August. And we'll be monitoring that and dissecting it to make sure we know exactly what it's going to do so we can get into the right plays for sure and take advantage of it. But I'm telling you guys, I can already tell you, the end of this year, like after the kids go back to school in September and October and November, December, holy cow, guys, just make sure you're in the Discord because it's going to get really, really wild in that thing. I promise you. And I mean, I've been shooting off some fire calls on the night note, and I'm going to even make it even more specific for you guys to nail them down. It's just the market's been a little rough and choppy, to be completely honest with you. And it's just been just kind of getting it started. So we'll get way better at that as well. And but yeah, it's going to be crazy. And like I said, tomorrow might even be crazy. So This market's completely insane right now, guys. But anyway, let's just go right through. We're going to go straight backwards today and just go DXYZ, go through the Jolie's jams, and then we'll visit some laptop travels. I already checked out the list because he had sent it to me, and so we'll go through most of them are marked, so we'll probably only skip a couple of them. We'll just skip a couple, and then we'll roll through our normal list and see what you guys want to see. And then we will, yep, we're still going to Niagara Falls, Mr. Drawdown. That's towards the end of the summer. So, yeah, doing Lake House this week, next week, Niagara Falls in 2 weeks, I think, and something else. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's crazy. We got all kinds of. My wife was just saying, like, hey, we should go back to the beach in between our vacations. I was like, all right, like, we'll try to figure out a day just to go down for one more because I didn't go on the beach yesterday because of my finger, but my wife and Dougie, they were in the ocean for like 4 hours and they had a blast and they want to do it again. And I actually go back to the hand surgeon Friday morning, so I'll find out what I can and can't do. I'm telling you, this thing is healed like nothing I'd ever seen, but I just don't know if I can go in a lake this next week. I just said that to my wife. I said, I don't even know if I can go in a lake next week. So she was like, oh my goodness. I'm like, it is what it is. I mean, I'll sit there and fish and do stuff. Don't get me wrong. Might not be able to go swimming though, and it is what it is. I don't want my finger to get infected, that is for sure. But I see the hand surgeon literally Friday morning, so I go see him first thing and get to ask him a bunch of questions, and he could check out my finger and tell me because, like I said, I don't even know what it's supposed to look like, but it looks pretty way better than it did. I can tell you that. I've been walking around without it wrapped all day today and sleeping and taking showers and stuff. I just wrapped it up because I don't want to hit it on the keyboard because it kind of hurts. And yeah, I hit it on things, but it also feels a little weird too. Like my entire ring finger feels a little strange, which is kind of normal because I just chopped it off and grinded it. So, but anyway, it's not like really that painful. It just feels a little strange. How did I hurt it? You didn't hear that story, Michael Anthony? I'm a maniac, dude. I was riding my go-kart, dropped my phone, long story short, reached down and thought I reached down on the seat, and I guess I put my hand right past the seat and literally, like, I mean, your back's sitting, you're tight on there, and the go-kart's tight. So if you put your hand down on the seat and you just go like a little, like a hat, like probably 2 inches past the seat, you're right on the chain. and I got my finger stuck in the moving chain. Yes, I did. It wasn't stuck because it just grinded it so fast. It just ripped it to shreds, to be honest with you. So yeah, it went right into the chain. And I was just like, oh, what was that? And when I looked at it like this, half my finger was chopped off. Like it was completely missing. And it was bleeding. And it was pretty nasty. So I had to, I stuck my finger in my mouth and drove back around. And then I found my phone. It was like 4 or 5 houses down in the middle of the street. I was like, are you kidding me right now? And so, yeah, I didn't even have my phone to even call anybody. and then, yeah, I had to obviously go to the hospital for that one. That wasn't one I could handle on my own. And that did happen, 3 weeks ago Friday. So, yeah, 3 weeks ago. Hasn't even been 3 weeks ago. And I'm telling you, like, I literally grew an entire fingertip back. I am telling you, I've never seen anything. It's a medical oddity to me. I've seen all kinds of shit, and I've never seen anything like this before. My fingernail grew in perfect. I can't wait to show my the surgeon because it was funny. He goes, well, the only thing that might be a little weird, he's like, your fingernail, I think I told you, he's like, your fingernail might grow in a little weird. And then I showed him the finger, my index finger. If you probably can't tell, but I had that stitched because I ripped down a tile wall. I didn't try to. I just pulled my tile wall down in my bathroom one time. I was trying to just take a piece out. Like I was demoing a bathroom, but I wasn't trying to rip the whole damn wall down at one shot. And I just grabbed it and pulled it, and I ripped the entire tile wall down, and it was coming down to hit me. So I stuck my hand up, and I busted through the tile, and it just sliced right through my gloves. I mean, it was like a razor blade, and it cut me pretty good. So I wrapped it with my favorite electrical tape and finished up the demo in the bathroom, and then had to go get that bad boy stitched up. And yeah, my fingernail just kind of grew in a little different. I mean, it ain't bothered me none. So when I showed him that, I said, like this one? And he just laughed and goes, well, you ain't worried about it. And I was like, not at all. I was like, I'm just glad you just told me my finger may heal up pretty quick. And so, yeah, I'll find out Friday morning. But that's what happened, Mr. Michael Anthony. And yeah, no more go karts. I took a picture on the boardwalk. As soon as I got on there, they have go karts right there. And I was saying, should I ride go karts yesterday? I was on the boardwalk in Jersey and down at the Jersey Shore, but I stayed off of them too. And I just made sure I stayed safe. I wanted to come home in one piece. And so yeah, trying to make better decisions in life. How about that? And so that is why usually I would have went right onto the beach and right into the ocean and been like, this will be fine. But I'm trying to do a little bit better because I know I'm insane. So I'm trying to prevent myself from getting killed and or doing anything crazy. So there you go, guys. So yeah, I stayed off the beach, I stayed off the go-karts, and I made it home in one piece. And like I said, I may not be able to go into a lake next week, and it'll be perfectly fine. I ain't worried about it. I'll go fishing and stuff, and have a blast anyway. You can put me anywhere, so I'll have fun. Doesn't matter. So yeah, I'll find out Friday. Like I said, I'll see the surgeon, but that's what happened, and my finger's still wrapped up. But like I said, as soon as I get off here, I take this little thing off, and it just hangs out, and it doesn't look pretty. I seen like everybody looking at my finger, like what is going on there? As soon as you notice it, you're like, wait a second, your finger looks a little off. But anyway, there we go, and let's roll right through our list. So yeah, if you didn't know that story, that is what happened. And Nike was a little pullback right there. Nothing too crazy. And it'll probably try to get bouncing off of that support line because everything's all crazy right now. And Symbotic right here is looking pretty good to try to curl up. They do have earnings coming up on that August 6th as well. It was up today, and it was not looking bad. And here it is right here. That's not it. That's it. Wait, I was going to say that is definitely. How do I get the Macy's? But that's pulling back right there. We want Symbotic. That looks better right there off the 20. I knew that Macy's wasn't it because it wasn't definitely the same chart right there. Macy's looks like it's going to pull back and roll off right there. So that is what Macy's looks like. We haven't been looking at it, but I accidentally clicked on it. Actually, doesn't look too bad as I had run up there, a little bit of healthy pullback. So there you go, a new one right there. So there is Macy's. And let's see, what else are we looking at here? That was Symbotic Rivian right here. Let's take a look at that one. And that's pulling back right there. We'll see. It'll probably try to roll off, especially with these market conditions. And Sterling was running up pretty well the last few days. I still think it will get in the top. It actually ran up. It says in the after hours. I'm not sure. I didn't see it, but yeah, I don't know. I do think that one will roll off and go a little higher right there. It's been a good one. And how about that Sezzle right here? And remember, we were saying that pullback was great the other day when it dipped down. And this thing is getting set up, guys. And Sezzle's about to get sizzling again. And I don't know what the heck they're up to, but it's definitely a good one right there. That's for sure. And BLNK, that is Blink charging, and we always look at it, and it is under $1 right now. Look how low it's got. And let's see, it is kind of dipping down. When's their earnings? August 7th. I say it's going to stay in that channel for a little bit right there for Blink BLNK. So that's what you're looking at. And Agrify right here, AGFY, is looking pretty good. Remember, we were talking about it the other day. It kind of ran up, had that pullback. I think you're getting set back up. It says it went down the after hours. I don't know about that either. We'll take a look. Yeah, Agrify looks good to me, guys. So keep your eye on that one. Yeah, Sezzle looks pretty good. Sezzle it is, whatever it is. SEZL, we'll put it that way. Sezzle, Mr. Drawdown. That one does look really good right there. And there's your Jolie's Jams. And let's just run through some of the laptop travel lists real quick. And then we'll take a look at the other ones and what you guys want to see. And then we'll wrap it up and get ready for tomorrow because I'm telling you, it's going to be a pretty wild day again. And especially after these earnings, what happened today with Microsoft and Meta. I mean, that was absolutely absurd right there. So I didn't see that coming, but now we know it's about to be happening. And that's half the battle, I'd say. And And that's why you can always have your cash in your account, and then when you see what's about to take place, now you can enter some great positions right here again, guys. So sometimes that patience pays off tremendously when you don't know what's happening exactly. You can play some other plays, but you want to really focus in on one trade at a time, try to nail it down, and then be ready for when it's ready to move or ready to dip, so you are ready for that move. And that's what we were trying to do. And I think we absolutely were doing it. We were playing a little cautious, but that's perfectly fine, because guess what? Like I said, if I had been playing it, I might have played that one wrong, to be completely honest with you. I do not like earnings. And Microsoft, I thought, was hitting the resistance and coming back down. So, Michael Anthony, you tell me, what should we be looking at earnings? Because I have no idea, to be honest with you. I think I'm like terrible at earnings. I play around them. I made the decision that I just don't know what the heck's going to happen. You can't exactly tell off the chart all the time. Sometimes their earnings, they beat it, it comes down. Sometimes they don't beat it, it flies up. Sometimes I can tell on the chart that they're set up, and they're pretty good plays right there. But yeah, other than that, Michael Anthony, I have no idea. I don't even know what people look at for the earnings. I mean, I can look at an earnings sheet and tell you what's going on with the company, but I mean, it's not really that important to me, to be honest with you. I think this is way more important and tells you the story. And if you just kind of play around the earnings, I think it's a lot easier. So that is just that's just what I've learned to do in my 20 plus years of messing around in the market. And again, learning to be patient at these times when they're at the top and you can't exactly tell what the market wants to do. If you take a week, 2 weeks off and you're not making bad trades, you're doing better than if you were trying to force trades and losing there, because you keep you can allocate your cash easier, and because you have it, and you're not messing around with ones that you're just not sure about. That's what the market's about, guys. You want to be and this not that the market's gambling, but I think of it this way, because I have a couple buddies that are good at gambling, and they just don't bet every single game. You know what they do? They bet the ones that they're really confident in, and they're the ones that win. Of course, you're not going to be 100%. Anything can happen that day, but and again, there are these like weird games that they'll pick in certain trades that they just know are like, hey, this is a really accurate good one that's going to end up paying out. And that's what they play. It's not always who's going to win this game or not. They play different odds, like side bets, whatever, but whatever their best opportunity is, that's what they take. And then they don't play every single game and every sauce, every bet, and whatever them thing, prop bets. I was trying to think of the name. Yeah, they don't play like every single one of them, because it's a numbers game, guys. You're going to get beat. So if you kind of really zone in on your best trading opportunity, you're going to beat the market. That's how I look at it. It's not worth trying to the quantity of it isn't worth it. It's really the quality of it. And even if you have to take a week or two off because you don't see the quality trades there, you're doing better than you would if you were trying to do quantity. So just remember that, because I've learned that over time and time again, that you don't have to force trade. You've heard me say it. And if you're just not confident in what you're seeing right there, and in the summertime, you get these looks often, guys, because like I say, a lot of times these guys go, especially right around this time, you generally see a little pullback in the market right around this August time. So it's common, but this administration has other plans, and they can go like that and do whatever they want. So we're on a different time, different schedule too. So that's why we're keeping an eye. Let's go through these laptop travel ones, and I'll run through a couple to CAN. Looking pretty good to set up right here. Check that bad boy out. And this can get set up very soon and start getting curled up. So I'll be watching that one right there. And INO is looking way better right here, trying to get set up. You see the 20 coming down. It's trying to get curled up. We did look at it recently, and it was like right about here. It got into the zone right there. I'll say that channel. It's trying to anyway. So INO, we'll be watching that one to see. I've been keeping an eye on it. And intensity right here, we had been looking at this thing. It did pull back a little bit today, and that could be a really good pullback and ready to run. So I have to look at intensity tomorrow, see what it wants to do, if it wants to get that curl off look right there, and that will be a good one. So that's INTS for intensity. And ISPC, check out this one, guys. This one's looking really good for tomorrow. It was running up today, and it looks like it could keep its momentum right there. So keep an eye on ISPC. And KLXE was another good one right here. And this one was that one that was pulling back. Let me just look at it. I think it was the next one, if I remember. Hold on. KXLE. And what the heck did I just type in? What is it? KLXE. That's it. KLXE Energy. And yeah, this was getting to be in the right spot right there. They had earnings coming up August 7th, but you can see this one's getting set up right there. And then this one right here was PYXS. This one was decent right here, trying to get to be in the right spot. You can see that one trying to get set up. But hold on, Seat right here. This was getting set up as well. There's one of them that's looking really good. Seat was getting to be in the right spot right there. So I'll keep an eye on that and see where that's going to want to get cruising off of. You can see that's a good pullback right there. So I'll watch that. And I think it's this one, VIRC right here. And I think this one was the one that was, this one was starting to curl up and look way better right there. So keep your eye on VIRC, because this one looks like it wants to curl up right there, get back into that channel. And if it does, that 20 will curl up and run VIRC up. And it's a furnishing, fixtures, and appliance company right there. So there you go with some laptop travel ones right there. And let's go through and see what our regular list is doing. I'll run through these bad boys real quick and see what they're doing. Then we'll go through the list and see what you guys have. So here we go. We'll take a look at our regular list right here. And that Wang and Lee actually didn't look too bad. Did they announce the reverse split? I'm not sure. I didn't see anything, so I don't know if there was a date. I know it was running up a little bit today, and it could get set back up. It looks not too bad right there. I'm not going to lie. So you can keep an eye on this Wang and Lee right here. Look at it. It does look like it's trying to set back up, as a matter of fact. I'll look at it tomorrow, but not looking bad. HCTI did dip down a little bit today. You can see that one pulling back, but that had run up pretty healthy. And again, these guys, I mean, generally don't want to be in them very long. And when I say very long, as soon as they start moving up, you want to kind of get out. This Chanson had looked pretty good setting up. It says it pulled back. I actually didn't even see that. So let's see if it's at 9 right there. It did pull back. I did not see that in the after hours. So there you go. A Chanson did pull back. I'll look at that tomorrow, because that was looking pretty good to try to get into the channel right there. And let's see, ABP, I know this one did pull back a little bit today, and a little more in the after hours is what it says there. So that looks like it could be pulling back. So these things run up fast. That got to that 45 cents, and now it does look like. And again, will it come back and curl back up? Probably, but while it's running up there, you got to get out of these things, because they will pull back on you. That is for sure. And we see it all the time with every one of them. It's very rare that they run and make them huge, huge runs. And I know you want every one of them to do it, but they are far few between each other. And it's hard to catch them. So you just got to stick to your game plan, lock in profits. This GIBO running up, setting back up. It's pulling back to set back up right there. So that'll be one to keep an eye on. And this ORIS as well is getting set up. You can see that was probably a bottom right there. So I would be keeping an eye on ORIS. And I know we've been watching that one. And yeah, that has that crazy look down there, and we know it's going to get set up. And IXHL right here, this bad boy is pulling back as well, and it had run up big time, and now you're getting that big pullback, and they don't stay up there forever. It did spike up a little today. I remember seeing it up there, and now it's at 67 cents. And remember, it dipped down recently too like that. So right there, it was way down at 49 cents. So if you can catch them big dips on it, holy cow, you're in, because they go right back up. And that is IXHL. Let's take a look at QMCO. It was up a little bit today. At least it was up a little bit, 795 to 814. I know it was up over 8, and it had a little bit of pullback. Let me take a better look at it. Doesn't look bad right there, guys. I got to look at the rest of these guys. RGTI, I think that was up in the after hours as well. So, yeah, these things were looking better after them earnings. And, yeah, that doesn't look bad off of that 20. So, we'll see if it can get curled up there. And it will look way better. QUBT. Let's see what quantum computing. That looks like it's still pulling back, but ran up a little in the after hours. So, let me take a better look. And that doesn't look bad to start curling up. So, I would say that after hours was pretty wild. I'm not going to lie. And QBTS, that one jumped back up. So I got to look at all these on here because I can't tell with the candle on FinViz. And yeah, that one jumped back up and looks like it's in that spot to pull itself back up and roll off tomorrow. So these earnings could really catapult us into a whole nother category in this market. I'm telling you, it could get really crazy, guys. And that's QBTS. We looked at QMCO and that QTUM, the Defiance Quantum ETF, and that thing was trying to pull back there. Will it hold itself up on that 20? It very well could and roll back up. So that's an interesting look. And I am interested in INOQ because I did see it down today. And it looks like that one ran up in them after hours. So, wow, look at that, dude. I'm telling you, this market's insane. If you had seen them at like 3:30, you would have never thought any of this was going to happen. And that quick like that, you had Microsoft and Meta report craziness, and the whole market went nuts. And I think that's a little, I guess, a little future, a little look into what's about to happen, I would say. Because I can't imagine the rest of these companies that are all about to have earnings and stuff aren't going to be doing the exact same thing with all the AI stuff happening. So that is what they look. That's what the quantum and computer hardware's ones look like. And let's keep on cruising because Holo had been down a little bit. We know it's been down here, and this could start to be a great opportunity. So we'll see. That could be a bottom right there. I'm not convinced, but it could be. So we'll keep an eye on it. You got that look like it opened and closed at the same spot. And again, it could get curled up. And if it does, you could see a pretty big swing move on that one. So I'll watch that one tomorrow, see what it wants to do. And here's your UNH. This thing was down today, and then it started to rock and roll back up. So I think that might have been a really good. Oh, man, what did I do? I hate when I do that. What the heck did I just do? Hold on. Let me go back here. UNH. If I type it in, that won't happen. But we did have that dip there, and then look at that look today. So I'm telling you, it is pretty interesting. And I think that could be your bottom down there. And again, 260s are way better than the 290s, 280s, and 270s. And so a little patience paid off for UNH right there, I think. And Oscar right here was up a little bit. And this one is definitely getting set up, guys. I mean, take a look at this. They have their earnings on August 6th, and this thing looks like it wants to get cruising relatively soon. You could have a little bit of pullback, but Oscar looks pretty good right there, I must say. So keep your eye on that. How about your Clover Health, Michael Anthony? Let's see what it's up to right here. Good old Clover down a little bit. Earnings coming up on August 5th. They're part of that big August 5th earnings day, just pulling back. And in that spot where that could pull itself up and get cruising back up. Oh, yeah, guys. I would keep an eye on that Clover tomorrow, Michael Anthony. That one could get curled back up for you. So look at that one. GRYP right here. Griffin, I think we decided it was called. For real, and just a little bit of pullback. I'm telling you, it's getting set up. Maybe not this setup. It might be here and a little bit longer than people think it is. But I'll tell you what, yeah, I would say so at the 20 coming down like that. We'll keep a patient look onto that one and find the exact bottom on that. And that's why I'm telling you guys, we are going to destroy everything because we're going to be patient, find the bottoms, ride them up, get out of them. We don't have to take them to the very top. Doesn't really matter. Lock in your profits and move to the next one. Look at this one right here. Remember, I was telling everybody when it was in the 8s, the 7s, and everything to let it keep pulling back. Well, there you go. It was down at the very 6s, 585 it got to today. So you got this thing in the 5s. Now it looks good, guys. Now this is where you want to be on PEW right there. So keeping an eye on that, and we'll be watching that one tomorrow. So I would say this is how we're going to be playing the market, and we're going to be rocking and rolling right through them in the Discord. I promise you. And we may have a little more setup days, like we buy them and wait 3 days, but they're going to run like monsters when we catch them ones. And I think Ben's a lot better. Not better. He just hits these swing trades really well. And I'm better at the penny ones, obviously. So I think some of them swing trades we keep an eye on, obviously, in the Discord. I always do, because they're posting bangers all day long. It's crazy. And then again, the penny ones, when they're firing up and they're ready, you know we're going to slaughter them. And then everything else we get involved with, we're going to crush. So we're going to stay patient. We're going to find the bottoms. We're going to trade them smart. We're going to lock in profits and just make accounts grow. And that's all you have to do. You just have to take one at a time. Don't get wild. Don't worry about missing anything. Focus on that one that you know is a great setup. Like now, Pew, way down there. You're going to be early, but you find these bottom dips down here at like 585-ish because you know it's the bottom. So you find anything right down there, you set some buys down there, and you try to lock them in with cheapies, and then you know it's automatically up. You have that safe little cushion right there for any days it wants to pull back. And when they get ripping, guys, you got the bottom. And that's the way to do it. And then you run them up and get out of them, because you know they're going to run up and pull back down again. And you can allocate that profit right there somewhere else where you got that same setup coming. So that is exactly what we're going to be doing, guys. I promise you. And this market's just been a little wild for a couple weeks, and I don't want to get people caught up in the tops on any of these, because I've already told you guys the story enough times. So I don't have to tell you again. I did it last time. I learned my lesson. I can tell you that. And I knew sitting out 2-3 weeks, playing a couple penny stocks here and there, making your money, and really being patient to see what this market wanted to do for real was the right choice. And again, that is the right thing to do. And sometimes you don't want to. You're like anxious. You're like, I feel like I got to do something. I don't even get that feeling anymore, because I just know it's not right. And that's all about the right mindset, I think. And that's a part of being a good trader, is all just having that right mindset. If you know yourself and you know what you can accomplish, then you can keep your mindset the right way and not jump the gun and get involved in these pump and dumps and things that aren't right. Like Pew at the beginning, guys, when this thing first came out, it never looked good up here. It opened up at what, 2140? These guys were in it right here. They all bought in right there, ran it up. Trump and his fellas got in, and they sold it at open, and you could see it happen when it was opening up. It just started shooting down right there. It never looked good. And look at this thing. So now we're getting the opportunity at sit. We're getting it lower than they were getting at 13. So half their price. And you know damn right they're going to get it right back up there. So we're going to have a nice swing up. So that's what you look at, guys. And yeah, you just dissect the market just like that, and you find the ones that are ready, and then you just keep them on a constant revolving door right there for you. And that's what you do: one in, one out, and set up, and boom, boom, boom. PSQH getting set up off of these trend lines. They have earnings coming up August 12th, and this is going to be another one. I know Laptop Travel does like this one. He's done extensive research on it, and it is curling up. Whether it gets through just that first time, I'm not sure, but you'll get a run up, and it has that support line there. So again, that's why I'm saying it may run up here, pull back a little bit, but it isn't going to necessarily pull back down under that much. And that is PSQH right there. And Soundhound right here was pulling back. And this thing, I think, is about to try to get set up. We got to look at this one better in the after hours. Good old SOUN. That's a good pullback and off the 50. So keep an eye on it because this 20 could come down and grab it. It could have a little bit of setup time, and you could be looking at that setup right there. They are taking their time a little bit, so you do have to factor that in. I do like them to run a little bit faster than this, but you can't force them to run at a certain speed. They run at the speed they want to. You have to adjust. You can't always focus on the speed that you're used to. And they generally run at a pretty normal, like average speed, but they are kind of slower at the moment. And that's because there's so much going on and they're constantly waiting for that next news, like the rates and then the earnings and the this and the that and the Trump and the administration. It's just constantly it knows that it's got to wait for something and it's going to be coming out. These charts know. I mean, they're genius. Because they can always tell you what's going on, and they're always way ahead, 3 weeks ahead of whatever's happening. We know that. And look at Gush right here getting set up. It did say it pulled back today, but it was up some yesterday. I know that. And you can see it was up a little healthy pullback as it's crushing that line. And that next time, I think, is when we get through, guys. And then these oil and gas ones start ripping. And we were 3 weeks early. So just start looking at them because it's going to be coming up. Something like this one, RBNE, down at 287 might be a good price getting set up down here. So we will absolutely be watching this one. I know I've been keeping an eye on it down here. And yeah, probably will try to roll off once they get over that MACD. They're usually pretty safe. And these things, I'm telling you, just want to get set up maybe in a week or two. I can't exactly tell. And again, the market's just moving at an odd speed here with all this craziness going on. Our OCGN is looking pretty good. They have earnings coming up August 1st. That's Friday, and that's not looking bad. So I obviously wouldn't play the earnings, but this has looked good, and we called it pretty perfectly from back in like October, probably. It was crazy. Knowing it was going down, picked the bottom there and ran it right up. So that was OCGN, and we always look at it. And Lightbridge right here was going up slowly. And another one, it was running up yesterday, a little bit of pullback, and it looks like it wants to set back up. They're slowly going up, and that's the thing. They don't keep that momentum for any amount of days. They kind of just dip right back down. That's why you got to get in and out of these things, especially too, except for the setups that you really like. And they're going to be flying. You can obviously stay in them for a few extra days or a little longer, a week or two. Lulu took a big dip today, and I was honestly surprised to see it get into the basement right there. So Lulu is one I'm keeping an eye on right there. We've been watching it pull back, and we'll keep an eye on it because when that gets ready, it'll be good. And remember, we were looking at this applied APLD, and I'm pretty sure this was running up in the after hours. If I remember, there you go, 10:05, and it's at 1167 right now. It got to 1180, and look at that really quick pop up right there. It had looked good up here, and then it dipped down, and then you got that quick pop up. You can start seeing that, guys, and that's what I'm saying. This market might get switched around real quick. And that's why tomorrow could be very interesting, and I can't wait to see how things open up, to be honest with you. Tech right here, a little bit of pullback, and another one, you have your trend lines, and it's probably making some room on the charts. It did hit that resistance up there. You get that pullback. I would say even possibly to come down to the 50. I don't want to see it at $4, but you could see it there, and it would probably be a golden opportunity. We know these guys keep getting all kinds of crazy contracts, and they are the people that have the birth control for rodents. So there you go with SNES right there. And we're watching for that one to get ready to get curled back up. And NCNA had been looking good here and dipped down today. So some of these penny ones that were looking really good started to pull back a little bit. CNC, this thing was looking good, Michael Anthony. And I think this thing's going to start running up there again, CNC. So keep an eye on that. It looks like it's trying to bottom out and roll up there. So I've been watching that one that you mentioned the other day. CORZ right here, Core Scientific, and had some pullback. I think you might have a little more pullback there. I know it says it was up in the after hours. Well, it doesn't look too bad in the after hours. I did look at it today. It looked like it was kind of, that's not Core though. Hold on. Wait a second. That's not CORZ. That's why. That's CORZ with the 20 coming down on it. And yeah, I don't think it's ready yet. I think you're going to stay in this channel and then get bumped up there. I do think it's going to be bullish. It's just not exactly ready yet. And you could see a little more pullback on that one. So keep an eye on that one right there. BMNR, we're definitely watching this Bitmine right here. I know what's her name? Kathy Wood from ARK. Didn't she just buy in the other day? And I was saying, why not let it dip down? I know it was dipping down earlier a little bit more. It seems to be up right now. BMNR. And that's going to be getting set up, guys. We're definitely keeping an eye on this thing. I like this thing, honestly, too. And I'm just waiting because that 20 is way up over it. I don't know if it's exactly ready yet. I got to see how this thing runs up. And I don't even mind if it runs up into here and a little bit higher if you know it's going to be popping up. I just don't want it to come back down into like the lower 30s or even the 20s right there at that 50 area. So that's what I want to see happen there and see what it exactly wants to do. BMNR and OKLO. That one's been cruising up. That's a nuclear one and actually looks pretty good to continue with a little momentum right there. And what is it? OKLO. That's it. OKLO right there. And yeah, that one does look like it might keep some momentum right there. Lockheed Martin. Let's see what our aerospace and defense, because a lot of them had been pulling back today. And I think this one was too, absolutely. And there you go, riding that bottom, and it does. It has some time to get set up, that's for sure. Northrop Grumman's been up there in the top, but you better be careful with it. And Huntington Ingalls looks like it might be pulling back. They do have earnings coming up on tomorrow, as a matter of fact. That's interesting, hitting the 20, but that could pull back right there. And that's a couple aerospace and defense. GSIW still down here, was trying to curl up, moving up a little bit in the after hours. And I think this one's got a great opportunity. I know all these ones that are that big fish hook have been running up pretty well, but they're pretty quick, guys. They're running up and coming back down. So just remember that. And here's Elf Beauty. We are talking about it, and Elf is looking beautiful right there. So keep your eye on Elf because that is a beauty. And we've been talking about Elf for a while, and this Bria Cell, BCTX. This thing's trying to get set up. Look at it, trying to curl up, not looking bad. So I've been watching that thing. It didn't do a whole lot today. XXII right here down 11 cents. A cannabis one right here. And this thing's trying to get set up. So I would be keeping an eye on XXII. Look at this thing. And I do think that thing's going to get curled up right there. So might want to watch that one. This one's a good one that we've been watching, RAYA. I know it started to curl up. Another one of these big fish hook ones, guys. So I'm telling you, these big fish hooks are starting to set up right here. And you can see this one did 10 to 17, and that's where it's at. So RAYA, we were talking about it, and it's been on the list right there. So there you go with a little momentum there. And SK, what is it? SRPT, that's what it was. And this thing was running up yesterday. We'd been looking at it. Spartan mentioned it on the small cap show the other day, and it was running up there, not looking bad. SRPT, and not looking bad still to stay in that channel and try to run up there. So I would keep my eye on that tomorrow. And how about Adobe? I know we were talking about it yesterday. ADBE right here. And this one was pulling back today. And we'll see how low. It may come back down into the lower 360s for ADBE right there. So there's your pullback for Adobe. And VYNE, let's take a look at that one, see what that's up to. That's a big dip, isn't it, huh? Yeah, it was. That one took a nice little dip right there. Let me see this VYNE. Here we go. Vine Therapeutics. I am familiar with it. 142 down to 34. It's at 41 right now. We got to watch that thing for a little bounce. So keep your eye on that for a bounce. And there you go with that list. And let's go ahead and look at Deckers real quick. And what are they up to? DECK. And that's down, had recently run up, so we're going to have to wait for that one to set up. And here we go. Let me go through to see the list that you guys are typing up here. There's quite a bit, so let's go right through the messages and see what's going on. Game Rocket 24 PLRZ right here. Let's see what that one was doing today. It was up 6 cents and trying to crawl. That does look like it might get that curl up right there. That's for sure. Let me take a better look at this PLRX, Pliant Therapeutics. What is it? PLRX right here. Yeah, that's actually looking pretty good. I'm going to jot that one down for a little bit of a roll off right there. I do like that Game Rocket. Keep an eye on tomorrow. If it goes and rolls off that MACD, you know it's running up some more. Your 20's coming up, and it looks like it wants to roll up. Can't promise you, but keep an eye on it for that to happen tomorrow, because that's what it looks like it's trying to do. And the SPY and QQQ, they dipped and certainly ripped. You are not kidding. That is for sure. And this market is crazy. XXAI, what's that up to tonight? That is, are you talking about XXII maybe? That 22nd that we did, possibly Cadence. I'm not sure. XXIA. Wait, there is something that's like similar to that, I thought, unless it got changed. I know there's that XXII. Let me know what that one is. I swore there was something XXAI. Isn't there something like that? Maybe not. I don't know. I could have sworn there was too, to be honest with you. And so let me know if that was a typo. HWH, I know that is one, though. I'm familiar with that one. HWH International, that one spiked up yesterday. A little bit of pullback there. And let's see what's going on. Looked like it was pulling back today. You might get a little pullback to try to set up with that one, and that BCTX is that Bria one. And I'm telling you, this thing's trying to get set up right here. You can see it trying to crawl up, and we'll have to see how much it wants to really run up, but it should try to get that curl up relatively soon, because it's already crossing through. It's in the basement. It looks like it's trying to curl up, making a nice level there, and I don't see it leveling down, to be honest with you. So that is what they look like. Cadence right there. And let's see what is going on with Peloton and Reddit. Reddit was up, I believe. How about Peloton? Didn't we just look at that not long ago? PTON, not PY, PTON right there. Peloton. Remember, this thing was like $100 or something, even like crazier during COVID. And because everyone was stuck in their house riding these Peloton bikes. And their earnings are coming up August 7th. And it did look pretty good right there, hopping up. PTON, Peloton. That does look pretty good. And I would say keep an eye on that for some momentum right there. And Reddit right here had been looking good and was running up. That one was crawling up. Has earnings coming up tomorrow for Reddit. RDDT right there. And I would say that one might keep its momentum as well. So keep an eye on Reddit and our blue screen right there. So them two are looking good. Microsoft went nutty, and Game Rocket sold VWAV last night. Didn't want to hold a loss, and it shot up this morning. And sometimes that does happen. I'm not going to lie. It's happened to me. Vision Wave. And yeah, that one I remember was shooting up yet the other day, kind of just sitting there, had that look like it could go either way. And then it did shoot up today up to 11 something. It's at 8 in the 8s again. And we'll see what it wants to do tomorrow. But that one did shoot up some. And the rate cut September. Mr. Drawdown said he's betting. And there we go. Let's see what's going on. And yeah, Powell, he's screwing over the U.S. for sure with these political games he's playing with the interest rates. No reason they shouldn't be lowered. There you go, Humana or whatever that is, HUM. And I know Luis Rodriguez had like this not long ago. And look at that bad boy shooting up there, looking pretty good for HUM. And that does look good, I must say. And what is CI doing right here? And that's Cigna Group, and that's another healthcare one. And Cigna's looking good, CI. So keep your eye on Cigna. I like that. They have earnings tomorrow, and that's looking pretty good. So interesting right there, I must say. And let's see what else is going on. Luis Rodriguez said he gets the same vibe from Powell that he did from Murphy during the COVID lockdowns. When asked when he'll lift restrictions, I remember that. Data determines the dates, he used to say. He used to say the dumbest stuff. Guy's an idiot, Murphy, the governor of New Jersey. And you don't even hear about him. And honestly, he's not even the most powerful guy in our state. Usually, your governor is. I've told you before. Norcross is our most bad. The guy's considered a political broker or something. That's his title, and he's the most powerful dude. You don't mess with him because he gets everybody. That's who Menendez crossed. He crossed up them guys, and look where that landed him. He ended up in jail real quick. So yeah, them guys are the most corrupt dudes you'll ever see in your life. And I told you, yeah, we talked about it one night. All the shit in Camden, we brought it up. Remember, Laptop Travel brought up the affidavits and all, and what all the charges are. It's like reading like a mafia story. It's crazy, guys. So yeah, that's the state we live in. And Luis Rodriguez, I'm sure you're familiar with them because they do run the entire state, and they are from up North Jersey. I'm down here in the South Jersey area. Well, Norcross, the one they do live down here, but actually, yeah, they do live down here. But obviously, everything's up in Trenton, so it's all up North Jersey. And them dudes are powerful, him and his brother. But like I said, his brother's facing all kinds of charges and stuff like that, and it is wild, guys. So I've seen that firsthand. And yeah, they're pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I could tell you some wild stories. So yeah, that's the way they run things in New Jersey. So you gotta kind of be a little bit careful. If you want to do work, you better be patting their pockets. Let's put it that way. Or you will not see any contracts come your way. I promise you that. And I know a lot of people that know them and work and do stuff all over the place. I know how it works very, very well. So yeah, you want to talk about corruption at its finest. I do say crazy things on this show, and I'm not lying when I say it. You guys know when I tell you things, that's the way it's going down. And so, yeah, that's how it works around here, guys. And I don't know what NICU. What's that one? Says it's loading. I'm not, or says it's loading. That's what his name is, loading. That was great. Says it's loading. That's his name, loading. NICU. What's that? I know there's something familiar. Are you thinking, and what the heck? I'm not even sure. There is something familiar, like similar to it. Is it NC something? I'm trying to think what it could be. I can't think. Loading. Let me know what that one is. And let's see, CoreWeave or whatever that is. For signs of bottoming out in the $10 area. Let's look at that CRWV. And that is CoreWeave right there. And that is going to be bottoming out. They have their earnings. August 6th jumped up right there. CRWV. This could be a great opportunity. I don't know if it's really ready yet, Luis Rodriguez. I'll keep an eye on that. Your 20 coming down too hard on that one. I just don't think that one's ready just yet. It did go up like $10 in the after hours, so we'll have to see because it did jump up. But again, I'm not sure if it's exactly ready. Could be a reaction. And Wax Museum Capitals, Niagara Falls. I didn't even know that, to be honest with you. But actually, somebody just told me. I remember who it was. I was at a birthday party. And they actually just told me that there's an awesome wax museum over there. As a matter of fact, that's funny. That was just like last weekend. And there you go. And Circle, what's that one doing? I remember when it was running up there, is it making a little circle to go back up? It might be right there. They have earnings coming up August 12th, and that's not looking too bad. You can see it had pulled back real nice. And now Circle could be trying to circle its way back up. It does look pretty good right there, Lewis. And let's see. Yeah, it's yeah, I'm telling you, if you're gonna injure a finger, guys, and I was talking about it earlier, injure like your ring finger on your least dominant hand. I'm pretty sure you don't use that finger that much. If you can use your index finger and your middle finger to pretty much lift like everything. And so yeah, I'm not so sure. I mean, you use them. Don't get me wrong. It'd be nice to have a full hand, but yeah, I've been able to do pretty much most things. I mean, I do banging on things and it hurts like a mofo, but what do you expect? It like ripped my finger off. I showed it the other night if you want to see it, and I posted a video the other day. I'll take a picture after the hand surgeon Friday, show you what it looks like. I wish I had now taken a picture after it happened, but it was so disgusting. I didn't even want that thing in my camera roll. My bone was sticking out, guys. I mean, it was wild. I'm like, yo, there's my bone. And yeah, it was crazy. I'm telling you. And the thing healed up in like 3 weeks. So I've never seen that before, but that's what happens. And Mr. Drawdown said one of his neighbors is smoking some chronic. You can smell it outside. Nice. I always like when my neighbors smoke. Always smells good. Anyway, here we go. Pfizer, what's happening with them? That makes billions, should be a major support. And so let's see what Pfizer's up to real quick, because the medical ones are looking pretty decent. And Pfizer does have earnings. I think you see, they have them on the 5th too on that day. I think you might see a little bit of more pullback there. Nothing too crazy, Michael Anthony. And isn't that Moderna? And what is it? What the hell is Moderna? Oh, mRNA. What did I put? I forget. Yeah, I did mNRA. mRNA is Moderna, and that one's pulling back, and they have earnings coming up on Friday, and that could actually come right back down to the 50. So that looks like it could be pulling back right there. And Estee Lauder, this thing's been wild as well. And that thing looks like it's about to cruise back up a little higher. Let's take a better look at that one, Cadence. I do like Estee Lauder right there. It does look like it might curl through and have some momentum off that support. So let's jot that one down. EL. I know we looked at Elf, and that was looking good as well. And we had looked at Elf Beauty and Estee Lauder right around the same time, and they both ran up pretty significantly right there. So, and that Sizzle looks really good. What's VCF? I'm not even sure what that is. And VCF, I don't even know what that is. All kinds of ones I'm not sure tonight. What is VCF, Michael Anthony? I'm not sure what that is. And let's see what BTE is right here. And that's Rohan. How are you? Rowan Moore. I tried, you know what? I'm glad you're on here. I tried to shoot you a message. I don't know how to even shoot a message on YouTube, to be honest with you. Did you get the Discord figured out? Shoot me. I'm telling you, go on X. I was waiting. I'm like, where is Rowan Moore at, or Ryan? I'm not sure. It's Rohan Moore, I bet. And yeah, hit me up on X. Just make an X account and hit me up real quick so I can get in touch with you and make sure you're all figured out. I tried to go on the other night after we were talking, and then I couldn't figure out how to shoot a message over to you. I'm not sure how to message people on YouTube. I never did it before. And I was like, I could only see how to make comments. So, yeah, definitely hit me up. So, and anybody, honestly, if you have any issues with Discord or anything, or have any questions, just shoot me a message on X. I definitely respond to everybody. And honestly, you know what I did? I went through that one spam folder and I reported all of the messages. I spent like an hour doing it, and now like I only get like one. It's that was the trick right there. And so yeah, you had, because I realized it was like the same people nonstop all the time doing it, and they would do it every day, like 5 and 10 of them. It's out of control. So I just reported them all as spam, and then they all stopped coming to me. So that worked out well. And so, yeah, now I see all the messages again. That's what worked out great about it. So, yeah, definitely, but definitely hit me up so we can make sure that you're all straightened out there and good to go. And BTE, let's see what that is. You're right. It is Baytex Energy. That's exactly what you wrote. And let's see what it's doing here. That's going to get set up back up here. You could have a little bit of pullback into that channel down there on BT. What the heck was it? BTE? BTE, Baytex. Yeah, you could have a little pullback. You can see it happening right there a little bit, but it could even get down in here and then push itself back up. But it will be getting set up right there, Rohan Moore. And honestly, make sure that you hit me up on X or something. Send me a message on something so I can respond to you and get in touch with you and be able to get that figured out. And that is an oil and gas one. And again, they're going to be getting set up, guys. I'm telling you, you can already tell. So that will be a good one right there. And let's see what's going on. Earnings are a must on why Meta and Microsoft are. Oh yeah, their earnings were crazy. I don't know what they even did, but I know Meta spent. I did see somebody post about Meta, and apparently like Zuck spent a ton of money on AI, and then they made it all back on this thing or something. He laid out his AI vision and outperformed Q2 expectations and sent shares soaring. So yeah, apparently he sees something going on. I didn't watch it or listen, so I'm not sure. But they were flying, that's for sure. And what's Bren Miller doing? That BNRG turned into trash right there. Let's see. BNRG, that was Bren Miller. And I know it did split back there, and it is dipping down. And yeah, it just never really got crazy. July 28th, they signed that private placement agreement for up to $25 million. We'll watch it and see when it's ready. And we'll stay patient on that one. And Luis Rodriguez at the White House and CMS announced a health tech ecosystem initiative to promote digital health, emphasizing consumer-centric solutions. Oscar and Hims will be the direct beneficiaries. Hims was up big today, and I know we had recently looked at that, and that looks like it wants to run up some more tomorrow. So keep your eye on HIMS, and yeah, that one does look really good right there. And I do think Oscar will be good. So both of them, and Laptop Travel did a great breakdown on Oscar Health. And who runs the country? Well, we know who that is, but who runs the company and their ties to who runs the country is what I was going to say. But anyway, and I know a lot of people have been signing up for the Laptop Travel newsletter, so that's really cool and appreciative. So I know Laptop Travel loves it, and he puts a lot of time into it, a lot of great info and picks in that. And it is relatively, it's super cheap, guys. I mean, he like barely charges you for it, so it's definitely worth the little bit, a couple bucks that he charges is definitely, like I think Luis Rodriguez said, it's less than a cup of coffee each day. That's for sure. Like it's like pennies, and a lot of great content information on there. And of course, our Discord's always wild. The last couple of weeks, we've still been killing it. We killed it with the penny stocks. We kill it all the time. Ben had a couple good calls in there today. We always do. It's just that market's been a little wild for the last like 2 weeks or so. So it's just a little more cautious than aggressive, which makes a lot of sense because that's the way you're supposed to play it. And so, yeah, it worked out great. And CHEF run this morning from earning. I don't even know what that is. What's Chef? Chef's Warehouse right here. And that did run up a little bit from its earnings. You're right. And I'm not even familiar with Chef, but it doesn't look too bad. I don't know if it's going to cross through. It does look pretty healthy right there, but you would have thought it would have crossed through right there today. It's got that resistance up there, so not sure what it will do tomorrow, to be honest with you. It's not looking terrible, but it could pull back a little bit. And PHH, Park Hob Biological Technology right here. This is a China company, and this thing is trying to get curled up right here. PHH, let me take a look at it. I worked at a mortgage company called PHH at one time. And so here we are with PHH, and it's hit. I mean, it should cross through and look pretty decent right there, that big fish hook. We'll keep an eye on that, Mr. Drawdown, that's for sure. And keep your list short, and got 2 more charts to look different. Yeah, I definitely keep a short list. Like I said, this market's crazy right now. And ROLR, let's see what that's doing. High Roller Technologies, that looks like it's kind of pulling back at the moment right there on Roller. And yeah, I'd say you got a little more pullback on that. And ERNA right here, what's that one? Ernexa Therapeutics, that one could get rolling off right there. ERNA, is that what I said? Yep. And let's see, that one looks pretty good right there, ERNA. We'll jot that one down. Keep an eye on that bad boy. The other one still had a little bit of pullback. And let's see, UNHG is a good play for UNH. It certainly is. It's a lot cheaper, that's for sure. UNHG, that's the leverage, and it's way down there. Took that nice dip there yesterday, so that was a beauty. And no options yet, but it is a pretty cheap one right there. And it will get moving. I know that UNH will start moving, and Estee Lauder just continues to march up there and looks really good right there. That's for sure. And how are you, Sam? And what do we think about Hims? And it did look pretty damn good today, I must say, Sam. That was looking pretty nice, hitting that support. I think you might get right into the top tomorrow, to be honest with you. I would watch it for some momentum tomorrow, Sam, and then see what it wants to do. It does have earnings coming up, but they're not exactly tomorrow. They're next week, so I think you might get that continued momentum up there. And then maybe it stops on a Thursday, but it's not looking bad right there, Sam, I must say. And what about UPS and FedEx? Let's look at them. Robin, how are you this evening? Let's check out UPS. That pulled back on earnings, huh? I didn't even see that today, to be honest with you, Robin. I remember we were looking at these bad boys and they were setting up down here and they jumped up a little bit and then they just kind of fell back on earnings, I must say. What the heck does FedEx look like? Does it look similar? Yeah, look at that. They're both pulling back there. I was wondering. I would say we're gonna go over here, take a better look, UPS, and let's see what it wants to do. It could honestly pull back another day there, Robin. You could see tomorrow pull back and then probably bottom out. It could also try to pull itself back up right there. I doubt it though. Yeah, wait, hold on. I got to pull up the right chart. UPS is way down there. Let me see if FedEx wants to. UPS is hitting the bottom right there in the basement. So I think you might have a little bit of pullback on UPS and to get set up right there. And then let's just look at FedEx because I was looking at it anyway and see if it wants to bounce back. That's what I was looking at. FDX right here. And that looks like it wants to get pushed down some more too. So, yeah, you might have a little more pullback on that UPS. Probably tomorrow you're going to see a little more pullback as well, I would assume. And what the hell happened to their earnings? Holy cow, they got blown apart in the 80s right there. I mean, this was just in the 150s not long ago and even higher than that. And you know what it is, guys, at UPS, I'll tell you. They're basically setting everything up for AI to run the whole company, to be honest with you. They are redoing like all their hubs and everything and lots of money. They're probably dumping tons and tons of money out right now. So UPS could be one of them great ones where they're dumping a bunch of money into AI and robotics and this and that. But in the long run, it's going to save them and make them a fortune. So this could be a great opportunity watching these pullbacks. So we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on it. I know we were looking at it the other day. It was right there, and then it ran up, and then we kind of stopped looking at it. I took it off that list as it was hitting the resistance, and we came back down. But I might have to keep an eye on that one, Robin, for sure. And biotech is out of favor right there. Markets, we're all over the place since Powell was speaking. Like gapped, the gap was down. Everything was crazy because Powell was speaking. He did not do anything with the he did not do anything with the rates or mention that he was going to, and still the market pulled back and then ripped back up. So, and that was crazy. QCOM earnings just released according to Webull right there. So let's look at it. It's not going to show us anything right here. I know it was pulling back. That thing was setting up and looking good, to be honest with you. And there you go. Earnings does say something there. I don't know what it means, but it says something 162. It went up to $1, and now it's at 151 right there. So let's definitely keep an eye on QCOM because it's like right here. and that's a good pullback. And this thing was getting set up there, so we'll be definitely keeping an eye on that. And it was Cadence, the XXII, no problem. We did look at it, and I'll even look at it again for you. I hope you're back. Had to pick up your son. I know how that goes. Constantly just running around, running kids to sports and school projects and friends and everything else. It's crazy. Well, not school right now, but when that's in session. And so, yeah, we're always stopping and running around and doing something. I know that. But this thing, I'm telling you guys, this bad boy is getting set up. I like it, Cadence. I'm telling you, I've been keeping an eye on it. Knew it wasn't really ready just yet, but I do think it's going to be getting ready relatively soon right there. So we will certainly keep an eye on it. I know that. I do like it. And we'll track that one down right there. Qualcomm recently reported in its Q3 2025 earnings surpassing analysts' expectations on both revenue and adjusted earnings. So is that for tonight, Mr. Drawdown? And then it pulled back, so we'll watch it. NASDAQ futures are up almost 300 points, Luis Rodriguez said. That's pretty damn high, I must say. And we're off to the races now, Laptop Travel. There he is. There's Laptop Travel. We were wondering if you were on a flight somewheres, but there he is. And that's pretty wild. And he was in a meeting, so there you go. And yeah, Soundhound is running up there too, looking pretty good as well. Good old Soundhound. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, this market, that's why you stay patient. Like I was telling you, you didn't know what the heck was happening. You had Pal speaking and earnings, and obviously earnings are going to be wild. I think we got a good peek look at it today, and I think we know it's going to be about to be happening for the next couple days here, maybe in the next week or two. Like I said, August 5th, you have like 1,015 companies reporting earnings. That's going to be a crazy one right there. But now we have all the big tech and crazy stuff going on. So that's what we're getting into now. And obviously Meta and Microsoft, they just made it all go crazy. And yeah, and Laptop Travel is going to be up in the Discord, and Luis Rodriguez, guys. So we're going to be having some of their calls in the Discord 4 a.m. thing. So that's going to be an added bonus as well. Getting that set up right now for them, and getting them all set up in there. So you guys can look forward to that as well. So there's even more news in our Discord, and taking it to a whole nother level. So yeah, you're gonna see Laptop Travel, and I'm gonna have them posting on my page for now, and just seeing how it works out, and then we'll see if they have their own pages or what's gonna happen, and how we're gonna do it. But we figured let's start something and have them in there contributing, because they do have great calls all the time. I know people enjoy them. And so, yeah, and Luis Rodriguez is a master at options, guys. I'm telling you, he has it down. And so I think it would definitely be valuable, is what I thought. And Ben thought the same thing, and Rhett. So I brought it to their attention, asked them guys, and they said, hell yeah, let's give it a shot and see what happens. So yeah, you're going to see Laptop Travel and Luis Rodriguez posting on my page in the Discord. So if you're in Discord, there's another added bonus right there, plus the night note, the morning note, Ben and the Godfather and everything else going on, guys. I mean, it's poppers all the time, even when the market's sideways down or anything else. I'm always telling you exactly what the SPY is going to do. We can play the market, the penny stocks, the small caps, the big ones, the Mag 7. I mean, we have it down to a science. And what we're trying to really do is like pinpoint everything and work well together, so that everybody can really benefit in there. And they already are. Trust me, people are making tons of money in that Discord. And we're just trying to get everybody like focused and on the same page, because everyone obviously has different trading strategies and patterns, what they can do. People have jobs. And again, I was telling you, the VIP trading lounge is for people that are trading swing trades all day. That's your job, nonstop trading. So if that's not what you're doing, you obviously don't need the VIP trading, and that's obviously the most expensive one. So, excuse me, and I've told everybody, you get all the calls without that, and now I do know that's what it's specifically for, are like real quick swing trades and stuff like that. So again, you get it at a great price down there, and we're just adding content and great things all the time. And when I get involved, I like to try to always spice it up and make it better. You can't just give everything at one time, but you're constantly thinking of new ways to improve things, and that's what we're always doing. And again, we'll really get focused into the trading and zeroing in on the entries and exits and everything. So just wait about another week or so, and we'll really start dabbling into that. I know a lot of people are smashing them penny stocks and crushing them there. We were calling them perfectly, and some other things. So it is getting fired up in there, getting good. And now you'll see some laptop travel and Luis Rodriguez adding some content as well. So that'll be in the next day or so. Just got to get them all completely set up in there. So there you go for a little added bonus content in the Discord. So I think people will be excited for that, especially at 4 a.m., guys, because that's what laptop travel. He's going to go nutty in that thing. And I think I'm going to be in there with him at 4 a.m., but I'll let him just do his thing and we'll all follow him because he's got it down to a science. We go through the night and know what to pick out, and he knows what to do on 4 a.m. So, again, just some extra added bonus, little 4 a.m. content, I think, with laptop travel and other picks. And then you got Luis Rodriguez, who just gives great option calls and other good content. So, always just trying to do it a little bit better. So, any questions, feel free to DM me anytime on X. And so there you are. And let's see what's going on here with the rest of these. So yeah, laptop travel, looking forward to seeing you in there and having fun with that. And like I said, we're going to be getting crazy, especially after the summer. You always know the summer slows down August generally, but it's not really slowing down a whole lot. We did have a tiny little pullback here, and now it looks like we're going to be ripping again. So yeah, it's a wild market for sure. You generally don't see these many wild swings in like the summertime like this. So it has been interesting for sure, and we will be getting zeroed in on everything. And again, like I said, after the summer's over, it's going to get really wild. You can already tell. So there you go. And Cadence wants to know some option plays on the RGTI laptop travel. So we'll have to look at them. I'll have to look into them. And I know it was cruising back up there in the after hours. So we'll have to see. It is hitting that 20. It looks like it's going to be curling back up. We'll take a look at it. I'll definitely look at it tomorrow. That's for sure. Make sure that it's really rolling up there and ready to cruise is what I was trying to say. So there you go. And let's see what else is going on that RGTI. And let's see. You thought about me last night, watched Flight or Fight on Prime. I don't even know what that is. What is that? I'm not even sure. I'm not, like I said, I barely watch anything. So Fubo is breaking through resistance today. I did see Fubo. Fubo. I say that all the time. Fubo, the TV company, not the clothing one. That Damon, whoever, John, is that his name? Something like that. That's who had that. And here's Fubo, and that was looking pretty good right there, running up. And they do have earnings coming up next week. So there you go with that one. That was breaking up there. Let me just take a better look at Fubo. Yeah, that could keep some momentum tomorrow. Not looking bad right there. And let's see. FBGL. Haven't looked at that one for a while, have we? And I know we were looking at FBS Global. This one looked like it wanted to run there for like a crazy amount of time. It spiked up when it first opened. It did spike up that day. And then it's been just kind of running flat here and just kind of bouncing around. Like I said, I thought this one would have run up already. And I'll keep an eye on it just to see if it gives us any look like it really wants to. You can see every time it gets that curl up look and wants to move, it ends up not moving for whatever reason. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that one, Mr. Drawdown right here. It is a Singapore engineering and construction company. I would say it's looking a little better with your 20 up there, but again, it just has not run like I thought it would have already. It's been set up in a good spot a couple times. And let's see what else is going on right here. Robin said he's going to get in on that 4 a.m. crew. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's going to be a fun one right there. And like I said, we're just kind of really getting things set up still. So I know a lot of you have joined. Some of you's already paid for the entire year's subscription off some of the penny stocks already. I know that for a fact. And that's what it's all about, guys. And again, we're going to destroy it all. So I just know that the summer gets a little weird sometimes, but it's not even it's weird, but in a crazier way where these things are jumping around like maniacs. So I look forward to it too, Robin. That's for sure. And just making money with everybody. Laptop adds 500% increase to the monthly subscription. So there you go. I agree right there, Mr. Drawdown. So is Luis Rodriguez. So there you go. If bad calls, he's going to reimburse if it loses. That's pretty funny. But yeah, no, I think it adds a lot of great content, and that's what we're always trying to do. So there you are. 4 a.m. trades will help you since you work full time. Yeah, I'm telling you, they pop so fast too. You can get in and out. We covered things at night, and a lot of them momentum plays, they just run early in the morning. And again, Laptop Travel, if he's on the Discord, he can just shoot in there and boom, pop up what he's trading right there, and we can all pile in. And not only that, it may drive up the volume a little bit as well. So we'll be seeing that happen too. I'm not saying we're pumping them up because they're already going up and looking good, and they run like crazy in the morning, but we may add a little more extra volume with all of us too. So there you go. And Cadence, you're excited. So there you go. And yeah, no, it's going to be great. I'm telling you. And Luis Rodriguez and Laptop Travel in there. So I think it'll be really good. And October and November will be green months for the most part. I agree. I'm telling you, it's going to get ripping. Even September is going to start going crazy, I think. And if we're going to see pullback, it's going to be towards the middle or end of August, I guess. And again, Trump just doesn't want to see any pullback. He's just ripping the market nonstop, guys. So he has this Rolodex, and he could just keep going. And then we're ending up in bubble territory where then you can just run like the last time it did for like a year. It ran 2 years. Maybe it runs for a solid 8 months, a year. Again, they're going to have it running hardcore for these midterms. So expect that. And that's what it's looking like. And Laptop Travel said he recently posted his option strategies for GTI in his newsletter. So he's been updating them as well. And there's your GTI right there. And that is that Graphjet. It had been running up pretty well. And let's see what's going on. Let me see. Yeah, there's Laptop Travel. He has a lot of articles. I have to say that, but they're really, really good. I mean, like I said, I don't even know how he does them all. He's definitely working a lot, that's for sure. Yep, Luis Rodriguez and Laptop Travel. So yeah, we're all gonna be on there. It's gonna be fun times, trust me. And so there you go. And he said he'll repay that in green for everyone. Yeah, no, we're really gonna have a lot of fun in the Discord. And again, it's made for building everyone's accounts up and really learning how to trade smart so that everybody just knows how to do it, and it just becomes second nature. And I'll be honest with you guys, most of it comes down to mindset. I say this to my wife and pretty much everybody all the time. Really doesn't matter what the market's doing. You guys can see that. If I'm zoned into it, we're gonna nail whatever's popping, whatever's not. So again, it becomes your mindset, just getting zeroed in on the market and really just being able to focus on it and know what's happening. When they start throwing you off like this, sometimes you just got to step away from it a little bit. You always know what's going on. You know, I watch this thing like a hawk all the time. But I've learned to be more patient and really pick out the right trades. And that's what I really want to start doing in the Discord, really focusing on the exact right trades like Ben does too. And Godfather, nailing them down so that everybody's on the same page. And we can really get cruising there. So that's what I really want to make it for, and that's why I really wanted to get involved. And I think Laptop Travel, Luis Rodriguez will add great content as well for sure. And again, 4 a.m., some option plays and other things. So it'll be excellent. That is for sure. And LDO and Ethereum. LDO is a pretty good one there. AYAZ. I know you've been on before. And so, yeah, that is a good one. I'm familiar with that. We'll go through crypto. I was just cruising through these messages, and we literally just got through them all right there. So, not on Bren Miller right there. What is Bren? We looked at Bren Miller. Yeah, it was just kind of hanging out, wasn't it? BNRG. Yeah, that one's just been dipping down ever since that split right there. And you're probably going to see it try to base out, possibly even get into the basement right there. I was trying to set up and never really did it. Asian stocks slide on weak China data and plunging copper prices. And stock futures rise on tech earnings, dollar slip. And I know South Korea reached trade deal. Powell signals reluctance to cut rates. And why is Meta stock soaring after earnings? It's about far more than the numbers. And Trump announces trade deal with South Korea featuring 15% tariff rate right there. Bitcoin's at 118, Solana's at 179, Ethereum's at 3,800 right there. Chainlink's at like 17. Ethereum 38, and what's Ripple's at like 312, I think it just said, going by right around there. 313, yeah, it was right there. And here we go. Let's take a look and just see what our crypto's doing right now. And it's trying to hold, it's making some crazy run. I'm telling you guys, these things are going to get wild. And look at that base right there. Ethereum's trying to make its way back up all of a sudden right there. Solana, that's a beautiful dip. And to kind of rip itself back up. So that's not looking bad. And here's Ripple kind of just stepping down. Look at all that space they're making right now, guys. It's a beauty, I must say. You might want to be looking at these and taking advantage of these dips when they come back down here, because I think they're going to run right back up. That's for sure. Here's Stellar, XLM. They all have the exact same look. Chainlink right there. You can see they're all the same look right there, guys. So, and holy cow, ETF, that is down, I must say, down. And let's see, where is it right now? Because it was brutal. It was at, hold on, I got to look. Hold on, come on. 1.2 right now. So, yeah, that went brutal right there. That's for sure. I'm trying to bring up the chart. It doesn't even want to, it's so brutal, it doesn't even want to bring up the chart. It said, no, it just won't come up. I don't know what's going on, but nope. Come on, bring up the damn chart. There it goes, I think. I don't know why it's not working, but anyway, that isn't there it goes. Yeah, that's pretty big dip right there. I'm not gonna lie, not looking pretty, that's for sure. I'll tell you that. And LDO right there, I can look up that one right here. I'll look at it right here on mine. I'm familiar with LDO USD right here, and Coinbase. And that's not, it'll curl up. I'm familiar with this one. This one's a pretty good one right there for LDO. Ethereum, you like them. BTBT, let's look at it and see what it's up to. Bit Digital, and just pulling back. Again, these things ran up so fast, so much, they had to pull back here. And I'll let you know when that gets set up, Cadence. It's hitting the 50. It's going to get set up. I just don't think it's ready just yet. So there you go. And laptop travel, we have any 4 a.m. poppers yet? We'll go through them and see what's going on in that. Bitcoin dipped to that 115 area. I did see that. And then just popped right back up there. So, and again, that's them dips and rips. People take advantage of these things, and they have these things, these buys set up for these areas. That's for sure. And yeah, you can see it did pull back there today, and 115 right there. So there you go for Bitcoin, crypto, and all that good stuff. And let's see BMNR. And yeah, I'm telling you, that one's going to be good. I know we've been talking about it right here, and it will get set up. It's just got a little bit more time, but it's definitely looking good there. So there you go. I would say that's a pretty good market review. That's for sure right there. And let's see what else is going on. You're going to see a lot more news from the Ethereum gang. I agree. All of them, I'm telling you, they're going to get wild. Them four: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, and Solana. All four of them going to get wild right there. Let's just see what's going on over here real quick. That HCTI was pulling back. Remember, we were looking at Ocean Pal. This one looks like it might be crawling up pretty good. Check that out in the morning, guys, at 4 a.m. NIXHL's dipping down. GIBO's trying to get set up still. And let's see, Sophie, we were walking at that one. XBP jumped up pretty big today. And Wang and Lee not looking bad. And this is that Mullen right there. They changed their name to Bollinger Innovations, BINI. And NCNA is still trying to get set up. So these ones could look a little better tomorrow. But again, when the pennies or when the Mag 7 and big caps are running hard, the pennies seem to pull back a little bit. So we'll be watching them in the morning. We'll go through everything and see what's going on our Thursday. But yeah, it's a different market right now after the after hours, after them earnings for Meta and Microsoft. It went nutty. So I would say to tune in for 7 a.m. pre-market because we'll cover the market in detail, see what's going on, and pick out what's going to be popping because it could be a whole lot of things. And there you go. What is that? That's not Tesla. I remember it was the same letters, but it was something different. It was popped up right there. It's called like Tiziana or something. We have looked at it before, and it's in the top. That one, look at it in the morning because that could have some momentum right there. And it is TLSA and not Tesla, TSLA. So there you go. And I would say that is a pretty good market review. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything over here. And we did our crypto. And of course, we will go through the market in the morning. We'll see what's trending, what's going on, and we'll pick out what's going to be popping there. So until then, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. And again, we had a trade deal with South Korea. He just keeps throwing out the Rolodex, like I said, guys. So this market's wild right there. And yeah, I know we were talking about QCOM already, Mr. Drawdown. They seem to have good earnings, and it was pulling back. I'm telling you, it was set up and looking pretty good there and pulled back. So it could be a great opportunity for whatever reason. I'm not sure why it fell down there, but it definitely pulled back for QCOM. So we'll be keeping an eye on that one for a good entry there. And Microsoft may be the play of the year. You're not kidding. It just went nutty. And we've been talking about it. And again, I thought it was hitting the resistance and coming down. So I am so glad I didn't play it because I probably would have played it like that. And it blew right through it like it wasn't even there. So now you know why I don't play the earnings. But now we can play them because we just play right around them. And you know that thing's going to be running up. So this market might be neon green tomorrow. And it might be up more than when the EU trade news came out the other day. So remember that came out and then the market did nothing. And now look, it's getting even crazier from this. So that's what we're looking at, guys. And until 7 a.m., we'll see what happens after that 4 a.m. Hop on, see what's going on. I'm going to get Laptop Travel, Luis Rodriguez. They're going to be getting set up in the Discord so they can post on my page and get all that. And yeah, we're going to go take it from there and take it to a whole nother level, guys. So there you go. I hope everybody enjoyed this evening and the market review right here at the live show. Be sure to follow along on YouTube X. Anybody new following along, we do the show every night at 9 p.m. Sunday night through Thursday night, and then we do our pre-market show at 7 a.m. on Mondays through Fridays. So we'll be on, obviously, tomorrow at 7 a.m. for pre-market, and it's going to be an interesting one. You guys know that. I'm excited for it, so I'm going to go get some rest to get ready for tomorrow. I'll make our night note. Discord crew. We'll see what's going on. And that will be it. Trump might tweet something to bring it all down. You're not kidding, Luis Rodriguez. He might not want it up that high that fast because it went nutty. And so we'll be watching everything tomorrow. Good night, Mr. Drawdown, Cadence, Luis Rodriguez, and Laptop Travel, and Doge Mom and 9, and so many other people tuned in here. I appreciate it. Robin, and of course, Michael Anthony. You're always tuning in and having some good ones in there. And Sam's always tuning in and posting some good ones. And Sam's always in the Discord as well. and everybody else that's hanging out. Rohan Moore, make sure you get a hold of me. I want to make sure that you are all set up and don't have any questions. And anybody else that if you do have questions, please feel free to DM me on X. I will respond, I promise you, unless I don't see it. But no, I should definitely respond. And there you go. And let's see if I got everything. Sometimes it throws a message at the very top. It doesn't look like it. And Game Rocket 24 was the first message. And you have a good night too. And thanks for tuning in, Zach, and everybody else, Doge Mama 9. And yeah, have a good night, guys. And I'll see you guys in the morning. And if you didn't check out that Joe Exotic interview, go listen to it. I posted it up again tonight. I'm telling you guys, it's absolutely crazy. I think the New York, what do you say? The New York Times did a story or something like that. And just off and on that, I don't know if it's a rumor, but they were saying this morning that Trump was considering pardoning P. Diddy. So if he does that, he might implode the entire his entire party right there, because I can't get behind that, and I don't see many people that would, and I think that would be absolutely insane. Like I said, he should probably pardon Joe Exotic, and he might take some people's minds off of the Epstein thing maybe for a week or two, but I think everybody still wants to see this Epstein thing. So anything he's doing is to try to distract you from the Epstein list, and nobody cares about his distractions. We all want to see this Epstein stuff, and nobody's going to forget about it. There's not enough distractions in the world to make people forget about it. So yeah, it's very interesting for sure. And but we better see something, and you can tell it's a major cover up. He's trying to cover up and protect people. That's it's clearly evident. I mean, there's no other question about it, or we all would have known everything about the list. So I'm sure some of his big donors are probably on that list, and all kinds of people, and people that you can't even imagine are probably on that list. I'm telling you, that list is probably absolutely absurd. So there you go with that. And that's our good fun night, and a major reversal. I'll forget. You're not kidding. Mr. Drawdown said if there's a major reversal, he'll forget about the Epstein list. Which way, up or down, Mr. Drawdown? Because if it goes down, nobody will ever forget it. They'll all just be like, all right, get the market up and get the Epstein list out. But if you just keep cruising the market up, people tend to forget about things. And so it's all a distraction. I'm not getting distracted, guys. I want to see this list. I want to see what was going on. And I also want to see Joe Exotic get pardoned. So listen to that, and let me know what you think. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'll see you guys at 7 a.m. Have a good night, everybody. And all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Thanks again for tuning in, and have a great night, everybody. I'll see you guys at 7 a.m.